Dust has settled on the floor of the secret room, where I folded my hands in a velvet gloom. I traded my pride for a handful of heavy rain to wash the silver from the cup of my hidden pain. The silence was a thicket where I used to hide, with a locked iron gate and no map inside. But the walls started breathing in the dead of the night, turning my shadows into ribbons of white. The bread appeared on the edge of the shelf, while I was a stranger even to myself. The clock stopped ticking, but the pulse stayed true, leading me out from the gray to the blue. Now I will stand where the pavement meets the sky, with a steady palm and an open eye. You are the anchor in the shifting sand, the warmth of a glow on a freezing hill. It is not a rumor of fading news, but the steady arrival of the holy host from the private knees to cities where I find you breathing in the covenant. There were lean years fighting at the edge of the crowd, when it felt like the harvest was about to start. But the oil kept moving in the bottom of the jar, guided by the light of a fixed and faithful star. You do not gamble with the needs of the soul. You take a broken chart and you make them whole. The cup is not empty, though the valley is deep. You are the promise that the centuries keep. The bread appeared on the edge of the shelf, while I was a stranger even to myself. The clock stopped ticking, but the pulse stayed true, leading me out from a gray to the blue. Now I will stand where the tailor meets the sky, with a steady palm and an open eye. You are the anchor in the shifting sand, the warmth of a glove on a fleeting hand. It is not a rumor of fading ghosts, but the steady arrival of the holy host from the private knees to the city square. I find you breathing in the covenant.
A candle flickers in a hollow room, where silence was the only cloth I wore. I traded questions for the heavy gloom, and left my pride outside the cellar door. The pantry was a desert, dry and bad. My spirit leaned against a broken reed. But every day the shadow that was cast was measured by a hand that met my need. Oh, the sacred sigh becomes a steady sound. The hidden root is breaking through the ground. I felt the warmth before I saw the light, a golden thread across the deepest night. He is the rock that does not yield or crack, the compass when the stars forget to shine. He gives the years that I can never track, and pours the water turning into wine. I stand upon the wall and name the grace that pulled me from the dust to see His face. A single sparrow finds a place to rest within the hollow of a jagged cliff. I learned to lean my head upon a chest that does not shudder when the wind is still. The fields are white where I had sown in green. The storehouse overflows with ancient grain. I find the mercy beyond all belief that falls as gentle as the summer rain.
The secret sigh becomes a steady sound. The hidden root is breaking through the ground.
I felt the warmth before I saw the light, a golden thread across the deepest night. He is the rock that does not yield or crack, the compass when the stars forget to shine. He gives the years that I can never track, and pours the water turning into wine. I